In one of my earlier projects, I made a bust of the Kangaroo Warrior from the movie Tank Girl. I decided to add to that by making a bust of Tank Girl herself. I start off by making a template out of foil and gray tape. After covering my mannequin head and smoothing out the details, I marked and cut out the pieces of the temporary template. The temporary template is then transferred onto a Bristol sheet, which is nothing more than a large piece of cardstock. That will be my permanent template, and I'll cut that out with my X-Acto knife. The permanent template will be marked onto and cut out of 6mm EVA foam. I'll be using contact cement to close up all the darts. The mannequin head will help me get the proper curvature while closing the darts. I'm working on one side of the head at a time, and then I'll connect the two hemispheres. Any adjustments necessary will be made while I'm making the connection. To make the attachments for the additional pieces of the face a little easier, I'll close up the bottom of the neck with a piece of 6mm EVA foam. As usual, to create the eyeballs, I'll be using the nitrogen balls from my Guinness can. I'll be using foam clay to seal up some of the gaps and cracks, as well as making some of the smaller features on the face. Larger features like the cheek, chin, nose, and ears will be created from a second layer of 6mm EVA foam. Those additional layers will be heated, hand-formed, and attached to the face using contact cement. I'll do a preliminary sanding of the overlapping pieces with my Dremel rotary tool. The goggles for the face will also be made from 6mm EVA foam. The ears will be created with 8mm EVA foam. The details for the ears will be marked and then cut out with my X-Acto knife and accentuated with my USB soldering iron. Followed by quick sanding with my Dremel rotary tool. The ears are attached to the head using contact cement, with a small piece of 10mm EVA foam in the back to bump them out just a little bit. Once again, I'll be using some foam clay to smooth out some of the rougher edges. A couple of bandages and blemishes are created out of 2mm EVA foam and attached to the face as added detail. I'll be using the foil and gray tape method to create the template for the beer bottle. That template will be used to cut out the bottle from 6mm EVA foam. Some of the smaller details for a Molotov cocktail bottle will be created from 2 and 4mm EVA foam. At any stage, when you're unhappy with any particular part of your project, it's not a problem to make any small adjustments necessary. The flame and the label for the Molotov cocktail bottle will be created from 2mm EVA foam and attached to the bottle using contact cement. The finished pieces are attached to a piece of styrofoam board with two-sided tape to prepare for the flex sealing and the painting. Her cross earrings are spray painted gold. The flex seal is allowed to dry overnight before applying the base coat of Liquitex unbleached titanium. You can paint the face in any fashion you like. I want to keep some muted tones with some bright highlights. The bottle is painted red and white with some dark shadows. For extra detailing, I added some eyelashes. I utilized some punches and paint to add some lettering onto the label of the bottle. A small hole was drilled between her lips so that we can add her tote. A strap and lenses are added to the mask and then test fitted onto her head. The cross earrings are attached, and now we can get started on her colorful mohawk. The strips of hair are attached to the top and sides of her head using contact cement. All of the individual parts are now attached to a styrofoam base. To stiffen the structure of the styrofoam base, it's layered on both sides with 10mm EVA foam. Before attaching the project, the base is flex sealed and painted. And that marks the end of this week's video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the like button. I really appreciate your support. You can also support me by purchasing the 4 books in my action-adventure series: Inherent Evil, Escaping the Green Abyss, Mob Life in the Hood, and Bringing Darkness into the Light, all available in Amazon, Kindle, and Barnes & Noble.